Welcome to 5 Stripe Weekly. Could Atl Utd be back in June? We get into that and what could be the cup-raising edition of Soccer Trivia Showdown. All that and more coming up. Welcome to the show, 5 Stripe fam. I'm AJ and this is Tanner and Marc. Before we get into it, become a part of the notification squad by hitting the bell next to the subscribe button on YouTube or hop over from Facebook and subscribe. This segment is sponsored by Thinking Man Tavern, a cozy Decatur neighborhood pub. Grab a tasty beverage from a wide variety of selections and a plate of something delicious from the menu. To go, check out Thinking Man Tavern. Follow our Twitch for new streams and surprises on Tuesdays and Thursdays starting at 9 p.m. on twitch.tv/atlutdfantv. Could Tanner raise the Soccer Trivia Showdown Cup tonight? Before we get into that, let's get into the news. And that first bit of news is that Atl Utd addressed the possibility of the matches being canceled during a town hall this past Monday night with season ticket holders. And United told season ticket holders that if the team's remaining 16 matches this season are canceled or played without fans, that they will receive a credit towards the 2021 membership for those select matches. And so, the team spokesperson said that the ticket office will be working with fans on a one-to-one basis to find alternative solutions that meet everyone's needs. What do you guys think about this? I know, Tanner, you have season tickets, and Marc, you don't necessarily, but this still impacts you as you go to every single game. So, Tanner, what do you think?
So, I think something that's very important to point out off the bat is the wording of that statement. And the wording of that statement kind of irritates me because it says a credit will be applied towards the next year's season ticket. I get the, we got one game out of it,
yeah,
right?
So there will have to be proration. Yeah.
Right, exactly. So there's a bit of a prorate there. But at the same time, does that mean they're going to raise season ticket prices again? Because I think that would be a pretty bullshit thing to do. Like, it's not our fault we didn't play a season, but we didn't see a season at all. We didn't get anything at home. Like, we got one game, that's it. Like, one real game, that's it. And you want to raise season tickets again. Yes, the demand is there, but like in principle, it's like we lost out on a season due to a crisis that none of us can control. Why would you raise season tickets? So I just hope that they just don't do that. Like, they should keep season tickets the remaining price. I don't mind paying the extra $30-$40 whatever to get my game back. But aside from that, that's my only thing. I'm glad that they're going to carry the credit over, but I don't want them to raise season ticket prices again.
Yeah, and also on top of that, I mean, a lot of people have lost their jobs and unfortunately maybe are not in the financial situation that they want to be. And so if they did raise the prices, yes, it would absolutely raise some eyebrows. Not only that, obviously, but Marc, what do you think?
No, I mean, I'm curious, like you mentioned, I'm not a season ticket holder. I am curious how season ticket holders feel about getting a credit for next year versus getting money back. Now, to be clear, I don't think there's any MLS teams who are doing refunds. And I'm not surprised, I get that there's probably an element to which that money may have already been used or is currently in use. So, it's like the liquid that they need right now. But yeah, that's the only thing I think is interesting. I mean, I think it's only the fair thing to do to at the very least carry it over the next season. And I totally agree with Tanner's point about not raising season ticket prices in this time, especially for Atl Utd. I mean,
they've already gone up a decent amount, from the first season to now, which I understand them going up. But kind of what AJ said as well, people having lost their jobs. Wow, my first instinct is I want, for me, I'm going to choose the rollover option because I've already spent that money and I don't need that money right now. I'd rather go ahead and have that money just put away so I don't have to worry about it later and it's already taken care of. And again, if it's $30-$40 for that ticket, I get that. But I think at the same time, though, it is an interesting point, though, because people have lost their jobs. And if they have, say, I just have a supporter section ticket. So, that's $500. What about the people that have these club tickets or people who have, who have paid for nicer tickets and maybe necessarily, not because they have extra money, but that's what they value it. They really want that. And that's kind of the ethos of Atl Utd in a lot of ways. They might need that money back because some of those people may have lost their jobs. So I think that there definitely needs to be an option if people do want their money back and they do need it back. or they don't plan on renewing for some reason, then they absolutely should be able to get it back as well. But that's a difficult situation for the club because, like you said, they're already spending that money because season ticket revenue is a massive source of income for Atlanta United. It's like everything, complicated.
Indeed, yeah. I mean, to your point about the club suites and all that, not to get too deep into the weeds about people's like finances or anything like that, but even people that maybe have club seats and drive a pretty nice car, luxury car, they might be living paycheck to paycheck. I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're rich or well off or that they can actually afford all those things without a steady paycheck.
And they just value that. Like that's something like I said, like it's important to them. Like they put stock in that. And if you take that away, it's like that's a big chunk of what they have. And like let's not beat around the bush. Like those tickets are expensive, man. So like
exactly. No, and that's where it is where if someone is maybe weighing up buying your, or renewing your season tickets kind of in October or November versus, being able to eat, I'm sure a lot of people will be choosing the latter versus re-upping. And so, I think the credit probably saves a lot of people from a tough decision as well. As the money is probably already spent. So, agreed with you guys and what you're saying. I'm sure everybody's in different situations, so I'm sure there are some people that really want that refund. But moving on from that, MLS has proposed to the MLS Players Association in placing all 26 teams in Orlando for the summer. It seems to be for a couple of months. There seems to be a tentative plan in terms of individual training to group training to finally having matches. And that's all the way from June 1st to the 22nd, in which maybe the first game would be played. That's according to The Athletic. And I mean, it's interesting, I think, looking at the area that they would be playing in. It'd be Disney World, that sports complex where they have not only a bunch of baseball fields, but enough soccer fields to be able to maybe house all the games and also, hotel rooms to house these players. Some of the pitfalls may be that the players would be, you have Dirty South Soccer pontificating that this is almost like a jail for the players in that, they don't really get to leave. They don't get to see their families, the pressure on their families. Yeah, and you don't get to go to the theme parks, but their families and their wives maybe have undue stress in having to take care of their kids and being away from them for 2 months. Do you guys like the proposal? Do you guys think that it could work? What are your thoughts, Marc?
So, okay, let's get some things out of the way. Yes, it's Orlando, we're probably expected to say something. It makes, the location makes sense because, like you mentioned, the Disney World complex, every year they do youth league, I think, championships or whatever. And so, they are familiar with, obviously, with MLS teams, that's a whole different ballgame. But I think, in theory, I guess they could pull it off. But my issue, and this is just this general push to restart sports, these proposals are, they're asking players to go at great lengths. You know what I mean? The point you mentioned about quarantining for 2 months, being away from their family for 2 straight months or possibly more, being isolated in a hotel, that's kind of miserable. And yes, I understand that some of these players are well off. Not all. Some of these players are well off, but that doesn't necessarily make that lifestyle or that, quote unquote sacrifice easier. The other thing is, and I've mentioned this point in previous episodes, this is still going to take a lot of people. There's going to have to be regular testing. The risk is there. And what happens if there's a case?
Exactly. Yeah, there's already, just with players, 1,000 players, and then you have coaches, staff. You have people that are going to broadcast the games. You have a flurry of people that are going to be coming in to just be able to create the content so that people can watch these games at least on television, and not only to say even a cook. That's going to be there cooking all the meals for these players. You have just a ton of people that are going to come in contact with a lot of people. And so, there's obvious lots and lots of risk involved. They will obviously have protocols and things that they will, contingencies in place. But Tanner, what do you think of the proposal so far?
I don't see how it's possible. I mean, let's not pretend that we're in a country that's handled things like South Korea or Germany. Like, those countries have the ability to do testing rapidly, efficiently, quickly, and control everything. We don't have that ability to even do that yet, like at any level in our country. And we expect within a month that's going to be fixed and good enough to accommodate, like you said, all of these people to where none of them are going to have the virus and there's not going to be an outbreak at all. Okay, good luck with that. And also, why are we expecting these players to do that? Like you guys said, I agree with you. Like, how can you expect to be like, well, we're just going to take you away from your family for 2 months? Like, that's not in the contract they signed. That's not. I'm sorry. Like, if I'm a player, I'm like, no, I wouldn't do it, because you didn't sign a contract to be stuck, like you guys said, a very, very nice, expensive pseudo prison to play soccer for 2 months every 2 days. Like, no, I think it's stupid.
Yeah, so it also said in that athletic article about essentially the month that they would be playing, almost like a possibly maybe round robin type of like tournament type of style. And so what it would be interesting to begin with. Like, what if there was a cup involved, would people the fans even acknowledge whomever wins the cup at the end of the day? What does this really achieve? How much revenue does the league even really gain from this?
Probably loses money. This sounds like a money-losing operation. Like, all the admin involved, there's no way you make money off this.
Yeah. And then going back to the sacrifice that the players are making, the league has asked the players to take a 20% cut. So on top of this sacrifice with the the personal life, you want them to take less money?
Hey, you're gonna take my money? Nah, hell nah. But they haven't officially signed the whatchamacallit, the CBA. So, like, if that's the type of proposal the league comes with, we're like, if I'm the players, I'm just going, I'm not signing that shit. Like, nah, I'm not doing that noise. Like, no, absolutely. If you want to do that, we're rewriting this whole CBA, because that in and of itself is worthy of rewriting the whole CBA, because that is crazy.
Yeah, and on top of that, you have the players that are making less than $100,000. They're also getting a 20% pay cut. I mean, that's asking a bit much for the players on the lower end of the scale too. It's difficult. I mean, that's like some of these minimum wage players are making $56,000. That's civilian wage. That's gonna be difficult to really justify. So yeah, the likes of Jeff Loretowitz has just a mountain in his lap to really figure out with the rest of the board. But so essentially though, President Darren Eales has kind of spoken about this as well, talking about Orlando and what it would be if we did play there. He did kind of tongue-in-cheek say that Orlando would be a plus for us. It would be like a home field advantage. So yes, absolutely, there is at least that. Orlando, we are undefeated there. So yeah, I mean, that's a plus, a large plus, but still, it's I think not going to be all the time going to be at Exploria Park. So we'll still have to contend with the likes of New York Red Bulls there. So it will it will definitely tarnish our record. Yeah, if you tuned into Twitch, if you tuned into our Twitch. In our Twitch FIFA career mode save, they had Tanner's number as they have the Five Stripes number in real life as well, and it's hella annoying to face the New York Red Bulls always, it seems. But anyway, so let's move on. There's a new elite player development program for all of MLS and USL. Some teams. There's 95 teams involved with this. Including 26 MLS teams plus the 4 that are prospectively going to come into the league, and plus 5 USL teams and a good number of non-league teams as well. And so it will be a development program for the youth in this country. something that I think is sorely needed, obviously, for our U.S. men's national team to really develop into a strong kind of team in the world, which we are severely lacking at the moment. So, I mean, what do you guys feel about this bit of news that came out today on Wednesday?
I mean, you can go ahead, Marc.
Yeah, I think. Well, you know what? I think the talent in the U.S. is steadily getting better. Right, we're at the point now where teenagers are even leaving to join European academies, and that's great and all. But I think at the end of the day, America wants to develop its own players. Until professional level, right? Like 18 years old and so on. And I think that'll also go a long way to helping MLS. So I mean, I like the proposal in theory. I feel like every 10 years, U.S. soccer has to restructure, rebrand. I hope this works. I like the involvement of non-pro clubs. Like from Georgia, you have Lanier and Southern Soccer Academy alongside Atlanta United participating, and so it's a good way to, I think, evaluate talent that MLS teams otherwise may not necessarily get to see. But if their own academies are involved with non-pro teams, then it gives them the ability to evaluate a lot of players. It's supposed to provide year-round education and games and so on as well. So it's good in theory.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I agree with some of the stuff that he said. I think it's smart to include some of those non-pro clubs because some of those clubs aren't in major cities, and so or in smaller cities that don't have MLS teams, and that gives you a chance to see some of the best kids that maybe come from like the less populated areas that you wouldn't have never otherwise seen, and maybe it gives a chance for those kids to be seen by those MLS teams and then signed by those MLS teams. I'm glad that they're taking a separation from the U.S. Soccer Federation on this because it was just having just done the grassroots stuff. I'm not the level of some people in terms of coaching badges and in terms of things, but just kind of what I looked at when I was doing the grassroots stuff, it didn't seem like it was really on the same development style as some of the other, countries around the world in terms of how they get the players better. So I just hope that they just maximize the efficiency of improving these players by making sure they're playing against other talented youngsters so that they raise their game and are constantly being, forced to improve and challenged to improve. And I hope that yields the best possible result. And if it doesn't, we'll find out. We'll be disappointed because, like Marc said, there's lots of young talent here. It just needs to be developed properly.
Yep, indeed. So, moving on from that, Franco Escobar and Paulo Neto, our EMLS player, they have been involved in a league-wide EMLS kind of tournament with actual players and EMLS players. And so Franco Escobar obviously is our representative, and he this past weekend beat Nani of Orlando City, and so we are still, even in the EMLS world, undefeated against Orlando City, and beating the likes of Nani, which is, I approve of that as well as being a Man U hater. But anyway, so he beat him in FIFA 2-0. And they moved on past Orlando City and also beat Toronto, and that was fantastic to see. And now they are in Championship Sunday, and so that's awesome because if we can win this as well, I mean, we'll take whatever.
We'll be the
trophies.
first club to win the co-op MLS Cup.
Exactly. We won't show it like what Orlando City in like their little made-up invitational. We won't be doing that, but I think, another trophy in the cabinet, why not? So
I watched the Paulo Neto matchup versus the TFC guy. That was actually a really good game to watch. Paulo Neto's good, man. He's number 11 in the world.
Yeah. And I think he was in the top 5 when we signed him, too. So, I mean, he might be in a little bit of a rough patch of form, but, I mean,
he's a youth. He's 17. He has a long career ahead of him.
And FIFA is a terrible game.
FIFA, though, is a young man's game because apparently it's the, how quick you can react and that type of stuff. The older you get, the harder it gets. So, I don't know. I mean, his best years are maybe now, but but hopefully his prime is a long time. But anyway, so moving on from that, Jose Martinez named his five-a-side on ESPN in a little post. He named the likes of Joe Hart, Bruno Perez, Miggy, Jefferson Salcedo, and Jonathan Dos Santos. Any of those people strike your interest or surprise you in that five-a-side?
Yeah,
I know. Yeah, we all know it's Joe Hart, and I remember that Joe Hart was on loan at Torino, but like it's felt so long ago now that I forgot it was the same time as Joseph Martinez. Like that's when they played together. It was 2015-16. Or 16, yeah, or 16, yeah.
16.
Yeah.
Yeah,
15,
and,
16.
It is definitely, funny to see that connection. And apparently, they're really, really good buds. Obviously, Miggy, good buds. But he had a nice dig at Jonathan Dos Santos at the end. And he was pretty much saying, like, yeah, I don't really like that guy, but, he can be on my team, whatever. But I think he wanted himself to be on the team before Jonathan Dos Santos, so that was interesting to see that he wasn't even going to make it. But I think, these guys...
I think they are besties, though.
Yeah, I think so. Because, you've seen them at the MLS All-Star game. They've been hanging out, during the whole time. I think it was obvious that he was just kidding. But anyway, speaking of Joseph Martinez, he's throwing out some words of wisdom on his Mother's Day post, wearing that just baller pink suit that he had. He said, "When Mother's Day invitation goes, agree with the dress." Obviously, that's translated from Instagram, and it's not word for word in his actual native tongue. But, I think that's just, even just when he types something out on Instagram, it's just like, yeah, he's right. I mean, it makes sense. Agreed. But anyway, so... moving on from that, new boy Mateus Rossetto, he has some skills with the axe. It seems he was on MLS Idol and he was playing this, I believe, a Brazilian tune on an acoustic guitar. I don't know if you guys got to check it out or not, but I mean, dude has some chops on the guitar for sure. And I'm not sure if they've announced the winner yet, but I think is on the heels of another former, a former five-star, I guess, in Andrew Wheeler Aminu, who, I don't know if you guys remember his silky smooth voice. He won the previous episode of MLS Idol, so that's some tough things to follow, whomever has to do that, because that dude has a voice of an angel. But, But anyway, moving on from that, the German Bundesliga is going to start this weekend. And obviously I think kind of talked about it last weekend about which club we might be interested in maybe following, at least in the interim, until other leagues return. But now it is officially going to return. And it'll be, I think... seeing the return of some elite, football, I think will be just a big excitement for a lot of people. I did actually, catch a game in the K-League last week when it was like 6 a.m. or something, but I caught it. And it's a different level, obviously, and that is good, but it was interesting to watch. I mean, it was like, I believe the current winningest team against the worst team, and so it was definitely like, okay, this is lopsided affair. But still, I think, just having that, I was a little bit excited. I was like, oh man, I can't wait until it just, full on. But anyway, so some of the other leagues that are looking and trying to get back are the Premier League, and there's some strong opposition from some of the players, with the likes of Sergio Aguero and also the likes of Danny Rose of I think he's on loan at Watford right now, right?
Newcastle.
Newcastle. But he, of course, is a Tottenham player, and for me to actually agree with a Tottenham player, what? Oh my God. It's got to be something that he's absolutely speaking facts. And he said about the, pretty much opposing next week's return to work for the Premier League. He said, "It's bollocks. Football shouldn't even be spoke about coming back until the numbers have dropped massively. It should be the last of things that needs to be sorted." I completely agree. I mean, Jesus Christ, the UK is in a territory of the United States in terms of how they've handled this pandemic. So I find myself agreeing with the Tottenham player.
Good.
what is happening? It really is. It must be a pandemic, but anyway. So clubs will be holding conferences with all squad members in the next 48 hours to inform them of the new health and safety guidelines. But another league is Serie A. They're targeting June 13th as a potential date for competition to resume. Is that too early for Italy to get back?
It's literally a month from today.
Yeah, I mean that'd be quicker than we are. I mean, yeah, they had.
I know in the beginning, I mean, like Italy obviously had a rough time of it. I don't know how it's been there for the last few weeks in terms of cases. Are they dropping? You know what I mean? Is the virus still out? I mean, the virus is obviously still out there. So, yeah, it's weird. It's weird.
Yeah, but so moving on from that. If you guys have been watching The Last Dance, I know you two have been, but if the viewers have as well, it's about Michael Jordan and also the 98 Chicago Bulls in the NBA Finals, that pretty much being the the last hurrah with that roster and Phil Jackson, their head coach. But essentially, there was a little bit of a tidbit from Michael Jordan, pretty much saying that he had to be an asshole to kind of win as many championships as he did and be the GOAT. But on the heels of that, someone that has been familiar in this league in MLS, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, pretty much wrote on Twitter, pretty much almost like co-signing what Michael Jordan had pretty much said and done in the past. And he said, he approved of MJ's no-nonsense leadership, and he said, quote, "Either you like it or not. If not, then don't play the game." That comes on the heels of obviously, LA Galaxy players kind of coming out and just bashing Zlatan as a teammate, as a person in their locker room. Someone that just really wasn't well received. He was pretty tough on the likes of Sebastian Letget. And, it's just, does Zlatan kind of hold the same kind of candor as a Michael Jordan, though? What do you guys think?
Absolutely not.
Not as much as Michael Jordan. But, the one where I sympathize with Zlatan a little bit is that he went to a terrible Galaxy team. Like, that team was one of the worst teams in the league the previous season, and they were in the midst of being one of the worst teams when Zlatan arrived. Of course, he arrived mid-season and turned things around almost immediately. And I mean, he did drag that team to a lot more wins than they would have gotten. So, in terms of him being a bully to his teammates a bit, I'm not there in the locker room. I don't know what Zlatan was acting like. So, to say it's justified, but I can understand it a little bit from Zlatan's perspective, where he's just like, I'm clearly the best player in this locker room.
Yeah, Tanner?
Yeah, no, I'm right there with Mark. I mean, Michael Jordan also said in that thing how he's like, I wanted to win, but he wanted to bring everyone else with him so that they could win as well. I don't think Zlatan can give a damn about everyone else. He just wants to win for himself.
Right. And yeah, that's where Michael Jordan also said that, he knew his teammates, knew that Michael Jordan would do everything that was possible to win. So yeah, he also guarded teams' best players. He would play defense, just up and down the floor. I mean, he's a guy that did everything for the team to win. Zlatan, maybe not so much, not known for his defensive capabilities, his work rate, definitely not any of that.
I think he's a bit of a flat track bully. You know what I mean? He has the numbers, he has the league titles. But the thing is, when you're on that Inter team that he was on, that Inter team was clearly the best team in that era. Zlatan or no Zlatan, but then you look at the Champions League, which is typically a higher level of competition, and whereas Zlatan's numbers there, not as good. So it's he even went to that Barca team that won the Champions League the year before, and they lost to his previous team, Inter. So.
I will say, though, it's harder to drag a team that includes 10 other people than it is to drag a team that's only 4 other people. Because if it's only 4 other people and 2 out of the other 4 are pretty damn good as well, then you're going to win games. In soccer, you can have 3-4 good players, but if everyone else is trash, like your defense gives up goals, it's not really much else you can ask them to do, though, to be fair.
And it's true, and it's different sports, but yeah, definitely Zlatan isn't considered the GOAT really anywhere, maybe except for
Messi,
Sweden.
Ronaldo are up there. That's
Yeah.
it.
Exactly.
In our
So,
lifetime, at least.
anyway, so moving on from that, that's pretty much the news for this week. But yeah, a little bit of housekeeping in that. Follow our Twitch for some new streams every single week on Tuesdays and Thursdays, starting at 9 p.m. for a couple of hours. And Tanner is playing as Atlanta United, getting mad, also winning a lot of games as well. And it's just a great time. Come banter with us. Go ahead and follow us so that you don't miss a stream. It's at twitch.tv/Atl Utd Fan TV. It's a mouthful, but anyway, so that does it for all of that and gets us to this week's Soccer Trivia Showdown. And, you know, like I said at the top of the show, Tanner has the ability to possibly win it this week with 3 wins. Yeah, Marc can also kind of stave off that and tie it up at 2 and would make it a very, very interesting episode next week. But here we go. Let's go ahead and get into the tiebreaker, that first question. And so it's whoever knows it first, they have to have it written down and say that their name first to be able to get this question. And so this first question goes: how many people were in attendance for the top regular season attendance record in MLS and Atlanta United history? The closest number gets the tiebreaker.
Oh, we're doing prices, right?
Yep. Okay, Marc. And you guys both have to stop writing, though. All right?
I had to write my number down.
Yeah, true. Okay, what do you got?
Okay, I got 70,100.
Okay, Tanner.
I said 72,250.
72,250. Tanner has prices right. Marc, it was 72,548.
Whoa!
That's really
fair,
impressive.
To be fair, I also kind of knew that the stadium capacity was somewhere in the 72 range, and I just picked 50. So I knew it was 72 something.
That's good though. Ooh.
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. But yeah, 250 difference. That was against the LA Galaxy, if you were wondering. But so let's get into round 1. So it's 1 point for each correct answer. 3 questions, all worth 1 point, and are asked to both competitors. Need to write it down on a paper or dry erase. The competitors will have 20 seconds to answer the question. If the competitor doesn't get the answer right, no points will be awarded. 3 points max in this round. So first question for both competitors is: who has not hit the golden spike before in an Atlanta United match? A. Killer Mike. B. Millie Bobby Brown. C. Edgar Davids. D. T-Pain. You just write the letter.
I know the answer to this question, and it's funny.
Okay, in 5, 4,
Yeah.
3. Remember, you can get a 2, 1. All right. Just a reminder that you guys can get to repeat the question in each round. But all right. So show your answers and say what it is.
D. T-Pain.
I thought it was Edgar the Thing. I forgot his last name.
It's T-Pain. He was supposed to be there, but he got late and he didn't make it.
I thought he actually did it. I thought,
He was supposed to do it, I'm pretty sure, right? And then he was late and
Yeah.
didn't make it.
Yeah. So no, that is technical. Oh man, you got me on that. All right. So the answer that I have is Millie Bobby Brown, but
He did it!
T-Pain. Yeah. No, she didn't.
I
She's
thought she
always
did.
been.
Oh,
no,
she just
she's
went on the capo stand.
Oh.
yeah. She's always been on the capo stand. Yeah. T-Pain. Yeah. This is fair. So if you wrote T-Pain, then I will give it to you since that is such a technicality.
Oh,
But,
you said
yes.
T-Pain? I thought you said T.I.
No. Oh, okay. Yes. Thank God. Yeah. You're right. It is T.I. Holy crap. All right. Good. The answer is B. The answer is B. Yeah. All right. Good. All right. So moving on from that, T-Pain, T.I., obviously not the same people, but it momentarily slipped me for a second. But all right. So no points through the first question for both competitors. So moving on to the second question.
Boo.
Second question. This person was selected in the 2019 MLS expansion draft.
Is there a... Wait, we're just writing a name down?
Yeah, it's essentially...
For Atlanta United?
For Atlanta United. I mean, that almost feels like it's a given, but yes, sure, I will add that in there. These are all Atlanta United, personnel.
So there's technically two answers to this question.
There shouldn't.
You said drafted in 2019?
No.
Two players.
Do you guys want to? No. You guys
Oh,
want to repeat the question?
expansion draft.
Yeah,
Sorry,
repeat the
your
question.
mic's doing the crackly thing again as well. So
Okay.
yeah.
All right. We'll give it to you on that then. Fine. All right. So this person was selected in the 2019 MLS expansion draft. Okay. 5,
Okay, got it.
4, 3, 2, 1. Show your answers and say them out loud, please.
It's
Yeah,
wrong.
you gotta. Hey,
Wrong.
Mark.
It's wrong. It's Ambrose, but it's wrong.
What'd you say, Tanner?
I said Garza.
Both are incorrect.
Garza was
The answer
great.
is Brandon Vasquez.
Oh yeah. See, I got in the time frame. I was like, is that 2019? Because it was technically. I wasn't sure if you know how sometimes we'll do the draft. Never mind. I'm wrong. I know I was wrong. It's fine. I'm
all
I'm
good.
wrong.
Yeah,
It's
you
all
know
good.
what? No, you know what? I get your point because I also made that mistake.
Yeah, no,
I
it
didn't
is close. It is close to the end of the season, sure. All right, so third and final question in round 1. Controversial, I guess, but here we go. Third question. Which player never received a green card while playing for Atlanta United? Okay, I'm going to read that again since I sputtered a little bit. Which player never received a green card while playing for Atlanta United? A. Miguel Almiron. B. Franco Escobar. C. Ezequiel Barco. D. Julian Gressel. Okay. In 5, 4. If you both are ready, then go ahead and
Yeah,
show
sure.
your answers and say them.
I said A, Miggy.
I said Gressel.
The correct answer is A. Miggy.
Because we knew he was going to leave, so there was no point to take the time to get him one because he wouldn't really need it.
I wasn't sure when Gressel
Correct.
got the green card. I thought he left already.
Yeah, no, it was definitely near the end of his tenure, but it was close. All right, so through round 1, Tanner leads with 1 over Mark with 0.
The cagey
round-
one.
A cagey one for sure. And so round 2 goes like this. 2 points for each correct answer. You can call for multiple choice, but the point total will reduce to 1. 20 seconds to answer. The opponent will be awarded 2 points if they steal an answer without multiple choice, and 1 point if they steal an answer the multiple choice. 6 points max for at least, if you get each question. But so player in the lead is Tanner, and so you will be going first. Your question goes, who was the second ever homegrown signed by Atlanta United?
Oh, because he's 1. But 2 is... Well, it's one of... I think it was him.
You can go with multiple choice as well.
Multiple choice.
Okay, multiple choice for the point total of 1. A. Patrick Okonkwo. B. George Bello. C. Chris Goslin. D. Lagos Kunga.
I want to say it's Gosselin. So I'm going to say C.
Final answer.
Yes, final answer.
Correct for 2 points.
1
All
point.
right.
Or 1 point. Oh, 1 point. Correct. Thank you. Okay, so Mark, your first question. This forward currently plays for Miami FC.
Forward?
AJ, you're an ass. I know what you did here. I know the answer to this question.
I'm gonna say Breck Shea.
No! Damn it.
Incorrect.
I thought he does.
Incorrect. So, Tanner, you have the choice, or you have the chance of stealing. You don't have the choice of multiple choice.
Miami FC. I thought that Breck Shea was a striker for Miami FC or forward, because technically he is a forward.
No. He plays for Fort Lauderdale FC.
Miami FC. Ooh.
Yeah, and that's not Inter Miami.
Oh yeah, I know. This is why I'm struggling now because I got them confused. I really thought it was Breck Shea. Clearly I was wrong. I'm stalling for time.
Yeah, you have to answer now. Time's up.
Mario Williams.
Correct with the steal.
Whoa! Oh my!
Go!
I want to VAR the time on that. No.
I know there might be. It's a little close, but. Okay.
I just had to think. I was like, who are strikers that have played for Atlanta United that possibly play at that level? My brain was just trying to do a quick scan, and I was like, he could be a potential guy. Throw it in there.
It's a good, it's a good deduction of what it might be. Okay, so your next question for Tanner. This person was Burnley's captain.
Was Burnley's captain?
You want me to repeat the
Atlanta United related?
Atlanta United related. These are all Atlanta United personnel. 5.
Multiple choice.
Multiple choice.
I mean, I have an answer in my mind, but that's the only who I can think of.
A. Tyrone Mears. B. Chris McCann. C. Kenwyn Jones. D. Brad Guzan.
Oh, he wasn't there.
5.
I'm gonna say
4.
I'm gonna say McCann. I don't think it's McCann, but it's not Guzan and it's not Kenwyn Jones.
Final answer.
Yeah, McCann. Final answer.
Correct. Chris McCann.
God, they're scoring screamers now. What?
He is having a guess-a-thon for sure.
We are.
You remember that Ronaldo goal versus Porto in the Champions League? It's
I was just thinking that. I was like, we have a cider from 40 out. Let's just fire it and see if it lands. Bing, top in.
Yep, receiving a lot of luck through the
It's
multiple
not lucky
choice.
if my mind's going to the right answer.
It's true. It's true.
Come back, start.
All right.
Let's go.
All right, here we go. And your second question, Mark. This person was drafted out of UCLA for Atlanta United.
Oh.
Is it Andrew Wheeler? Mamanu?
Final answer?
Yes.
That is incorrect. Tanner, you have the chance of stealing.
Anderson Asiedu.
For the 2-point steal,
Ooh.
that is Anderson Asiedu.
Oh God, I did that
Oh,
push
boy.
up too. I'm disappointed in myself.
Oh boy. All right, so third and final question for Tanner in the second round.
I don't think I can get another one, can I? Or have I maxed out my points already?
No. It's just 6 points max from those questions that that I ask you in terms of
okay.
that. So you can get more from stealing. All right, sorry that wasn't clear. But the third question is: this person has played for famed manager Marcelo Bielsa.
Multiple choice.
Multiple choice for a value of 1 point. A. P.T. Martinez. B. Carlos Carmona. C. Kenwyn Jones. D. Tyrone Mears.
What was A and B again?
You'll get one of these in terms of repeats for these. So A.
Yeah, I just
P.T.
want A or
Martinez.
P.T.
B. Yep. And B. Carlos Carmona.
I'm gonna say B, Carlos Carmona.
That is correct for 1 point. All right.
So
I had to do some deduction on
Marc.
the other guys. I was like, what was the other first two again? Yeah.
All right, so third and final question in round 3 for Marc. This person played his youth career for the Corinthians.
Was that Hosetu? Final answer?
It is not Hosetu. Tanner, you have the chance of stealing this one.
Oh,
No multiple choice.
oh, what's his name? We signed him from the twos this year. F with something. Fernando? Is it
3.
Fernando? Something?
We will accept Fernando. It is Luis Fernando. Yes, correct. For a 2-point steal. Ooh, there is a dagger in this game right now. And so through round 2, let me do some quick maths here. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9-0 currently.
Oh, I thought it was 10.
Yeah. Marc, you currently still have a chance of being able to get back in this game, though, somehow.
I have to get all of these right.
You do have to get all of these correct. But, so, round 3 goes like this. 3 points for each correct answer, 20 seconds to answer. Each competitor will get 3 questions from a random selection of categories. Question number 1 is weighted 2 points. Question number 2 is worth 3 points. Question number 3 is worth 5 points. No stealing allowed, 11-point max. 4 categories. Each competitor can choose a number between 1 through 4. Tanner, because you are in the lead, have the choice of the first number.
I will take 3.
3. Okay. And Marc?
1.
1.
Marc,
Okay.
statistics.
He got wins again. All right, so.
Okay.
All right. So your first question goes for the point total of 1. This person won the, or is it 1 or is it 2? It is 2. 2. Yes, correct. Yes. So this person won the MLS Cup in 2017 with the Seattle Sounders. I'll say that again. This person won the MLS Cup in 2017 with the Seattle Sounders.
Wait, what? The Sounders won in 2016. Toronto won in 2017. No? Or do I have that wrong?
No, 2016. Sorry, 2016 Seattle Sounders. Sorry about that.
Okay.
But yes,
But yes,
question
question
still
still
remains.
remains.
Yeah. All right, cool. This person won.
The Fox?
5, 4,
I got
3,
nothing.
3.
2, 1. Do you have an answer?
No, I don't.
Okay. The answer is Tyrone Mears.
Wow.
Tyrone Mears.
Did not know he was on the. I didn't know he played for another MLS team.
Forgot about
Yeah, he did. Yeah, and then he went on to play with with Minnesota United after us as well, of course. But yeah, no, they won the cup, and then the day after he was cut. Next question for Marc with a total. Oh wait, that's pretty much.
That's it. Yeah.
No, yeah, that's it. Marc, unfortunately, you have lost, and Tanner, you are the winner of the Soccer Trivia Showdown Cup. Go ahead and raise it up and high. Celebrations abound for you, my friend. If you have champagne in the fridge, go ahead and spray it all over your face, because you are the first winner of the Soccer Trivia Showdown. Congratulations. Commiserations to Marc. Unfortunately, yeah, tough showing there indeed. I mean, it's I felt like maybe there was maybe a little bit of discouragement in the middle after you started stealing some of it. I mean, maybe it started to get a little tough on the mindset, but it's hard. It's hard. These questions are
hard. Like, yeah, it's just like even the Acedu one. Like I said, like I did that profile, but it was like, I mean, we've drafted so many players from the Pac-12. It's like, I don't know.
Indeed, it's details. I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
That's why they call it trivia and not just, everyday regular things that we all know. It's not LA United knowledge, it's trivia. So, but anyway, yeah, appreciate it. That there are good questions. But anyway, so no sudden death ever for the show. But there were some Man U and Chelsea questions that I really wanted to ask you guys. But it's too bad. We'll have to reserve that for some other type of tournament in the future. But anyway, congratulations again to Tanner McLeod. But that pretty much does it for almost the entire show, except for the question of the day. And so the question of the day is, which Bundesliga club are you going to follow if you follow one when it starts back this weekend? So let us know in the comments below who you are looking forward to really following in the meantime for this lack of football. But anyway, that does it for the entire show. And for Tanner, for Mark, I'm AJ. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will catch you in the next episode.